Security footage from a warehouse captured a tragic moment where a single lapse in awareness turned routine work into a devastating accident. As daily operations continue inside the busy facility, a forklift moves forward carrying a dangerously high stack of cargo, completely blocking the driver's forward visibility. At the same time, a worker focused on his task fails to notice the approaching vehicle and unknowingly walks directly into its path. With both the pedestrian and the operator trapped in each other's blind spots, disaster strikes. The heavy forklift rolls forward and runs over the worker, leaving witnesses frozen in shock as the incident unfolds in seconds. This heartbreaking moment is a powerful reminder that in industrial environments, safety depends on constant awareness from everyone involved. Maintaining safe distances between people and machinery isn't optional because sometimes 1 second of inattention can cost a life. Security cameras at a warehouse captured a horrifying moment, a stark reminder of how fragile workplace safety can be when working at height. In the footage, a worker can be seen standing on the forks of a forklift, attempting to rearrange cargo roughly 5 meters above the ground. But in a single moment of carelessness, his foot slipped on the smooth metal surface. Everything happened so fast that he had no chance to grab onto anything for support. His body fell freely onto the hard concrete floor below. The fall, equivalent to dropping from a 2-story building, left nearby witnesses frozen in shock. This video serves as a brutal warning. Never underestimate protective equipment or safety procedures, because sometimes one small misstep is all it takes to cause consequences that cannot be undone. Security cameras inside a manufacturing facility captured a terrifying moment when a single mistake triggered a devastating explosion in just seconds. In the footage, a group of workers can be seen focused on their tasks around an active machinery area. Everything appears normal until one worker approaches and begins opening the access door of a technical drilling chamber. The instant the door cracked open, an intense burst of pressure combined with electrical sparks ignited a massive explosion. Flames erupted violently, engulfing the entire area and violently throwing the worker backward. Thick black smoke and blazing fire quickly overwhelmed the space, leaving nearby workers with no time to react. This footage stands as a harsh warning about the hidden dangers within industrial operations, where one uncontrolled action can instantly turn into an unpredictable and catastrophic fire and explosion. This security camera footage from a construction site captured a horrifying and almost unbelievable moment, one that unfolded deep underground. In the frame, 2 workers are seen attempting to repair a pipeline system inside a pit roughly 3 meters deep. One worker operates a power saw, while his colleague uses a hammer to break through a square concrete barrier measuring nearly 1 meter across. Everything appears routine until the moment the wall section is finally opened. As soon as the barrier gives way, an extreme negative pressure surge from inside the pipeline unleashes a powerful suction force. In a split second, at terrifying speed, the unfortunate worker is violently pulled straight into the pipe, leaving his coworker standing beside him frozen in absolute shock. No one could have anticipated that the pressure flow inside the system possessed enough force to swallow a human being so instantly. This footage serves as a brutal warning about the invisible dangers hidden within industrial pipeline systems, where unseen forces can turn ordinary work into tragedy without a moment's notice. Security cameras captured a costly lesson in workplace safety, a moment when complacency led to an irreversible tragedy. On screen, a man is seen working beneath the raised bed of a dump truck, completely focused on carrying out repairs. But a fatal mistake had already been made. He placed full trust in the hydraulic lifting system without using any support blocks, safety stands, or locking mechanisms to secure the truck bed. While he remained absorbed in his work, the lifting system suddenly malfunctioned or lost pressure. Within seconds, the massive metal bed weighing several tons came crashing down like a giant collapsing trap. There was no time to react, no path to escape. The man was instantly crushed beneath the falling load. This incident stands as a brutal reminder that in industrial work, even a single moment of negligence and the absence of the most basic safety precautions can cost a person their life. Security footage from a warehouse captured a tragic workplace accident caused by unsafe operating practices. On screen, three workers are seen attempting to load an extremely heavy cargo pallet onto a truck using a forklift. A closer look reveals that the operator repeatedly tries to lift and reposition the load for a third time, but the excessive weight causes the forklift to lose balance, lifting its rear wheels off the ground. In a desperate attempt to stabilize the situation, one worker makes a dangerous decision climbing onto the back of the forklift to use his own body weight as a counterbalance. But then the worst happens. The massive load suddenly slips off the forks and crashes onto the ground. The violent rebound caused by the sudden loss of weight instantly throws the worker off the machine, sending him crashing hard onto the concrete floor and leaving him seriously injured. This incident delivers a costly lesson. Human strength should never replace proper counterweights or safe operating procedures when handling heavy machinery. Security cameras captured a sudden workplace accident, a powerful reminder of the dangers of handling heavy equipment alone. In the video, a man is seen attempting to lower a loading ramp from the back of a truck in preparation for moving an excavator off the vehicle. He applies significant force to pull one side of the heavy ramp free from its secured position. However, the moment the ramp comes loose, a critical mistake occurs. Failing to anticipate the direction of the falling weight, he quickly steps directly beneath it. Within seconds, the massive metal ramp drops under its own momentum, striking the man in the head and knocking him to the ground instantly. All it took was one moment of misjudgment, a single lapse in awareness to cause a devastating accident. This footage serves as an important reminder. Always maintain a safe distance and carefully assess movement paths when operating heavy mechanical equipment. Security cameras at a construction site captured a horrifying moment, revealing how thin the line between life and death can be in heavy industrial work zones. On screen, a team of workers is operating a large crane to load massive steel pipes onto a truck. Everything appears to be under control until one man unexpectedly walks into a restricted danger zone, standing dangerously close to the truck while the load is still suspended. At that exact moment, disaster strikes. The load-bearing cable suddenly snaps under the immense weight. With no support left, the multi-ton steel pipes plunge downward, crushing the unfortunate man before he has any chance to react. The deafening sound of metal slamming into the ground mixes with the frantic shouts of nearby coworkers, creating a deeply haunting scene. This footage delivers a costly reminder. Never enter an active crane operation zone. In heavy construction environments, danger can fall from above without warning, and in a single second, it can turn fatal. Security cameras at a construction site captured a horrifying moment, revealing how thin the line between life and death can be in heavy industrial work zones. On screen, a team of workers is operating a large crane to load massive steel pipes onto a truck. Everything appears to be under control until one man unexpectedly walks into a restricted danger zone, standing dangerously close to the truck while the load is still suspended. At that exact moment, disaster strikes. The load-bearing cable suddenly snaps under the immense weight. With no support left, the multi-ton steel pipes plunge downward, crushing the unfortunate man before he has any chance to react. The deafening sound of metal slamming into the ground mixes with the frantic shouts of nearby coworkers, creating a deeply haunting scene. This footage delivers a costly reminder. Never enter an active crane operation zone. In heavy construction environments, danger can fall from above without warning, and in a single second, it can turn fatal. Security cameras captured a terrifying workplace accident, a stark warning about the unpredictable dangers of operating handheld power tools. In the video, a man is seen carefully using a power saw to cut through a large block of metal. Everything appears under control until, in a split second, a technical malfunction or a jammed cutting blade creates a powerful kickback force. Instead of cutting through the material, the rapidly spinning blade suddenly rebounds with violent momentum, striking directly into the man's thigh. The impact is devastating. He collapses instantly, clutching the wound and screaming in extreme pain as panic spreads among those nearby. Blood quickly begins to spread across the floor, while co-workers rush toward him in shock. This footage serves as a critical reminder. When working with power saws, even a minor lapse in control or the absence of proper protective equipment can result in life-altering injuries within seconds. Security cameras at this storage yard captured a reckless moment that led to painful consequences for a young boy. Standing in front of towering stacks of old vehicles, instead of keeping his distance, the boy began playing dangerously, pushing forcefully against an unstable column of stacked metal. Within seconds, gravity took over. The entire stack started to shake before collapsing downward like a falling wall. With no time to escape, the boy was struck and completely buried beneath the heavy debris. The image of him curled on the ground, clutching his head in intense pain, became the harsh price of a single moment of careless curiosity. This incident serves as an important warning for parents. Children should never be allowed to play near storage or industrial areas where seemingly harmless surroundings can quickly turn into serious danger. Security cameras along an internal hospital roadway captured a heart-stopping incident, reminding us that danger can appear even in places we consider safe. A man stood casually in the middle of the lane, distracted as he searched through his pockets, completely unaware of his surroundings. At the same time, an ambulance began reversing at moderate speed while preparing to receive a patient. Caught in the vehicle's blind spot and with neither side noticing the other, the rear of the ambulance suddenly struck the man, knocking him onto the pavement. In a critical moment, as the rear wheel came within inches of running over him, the driver slammed on the brakes just in time. A stroke of incredible luck allowed the man to escape without life-threatening injuries. This incident delivers an important safety lesson. Never stop or stand in areas used by moving vehicles.
Inside a storage facility, a small ignition is seen, likely starting from an electrical fault. What initially appears minor quickly begins producing heavy smoke and flames. An employee attempts to intervene with a water hose, but the fire cannot be controlled. The flames spread outside the room, ignite nearby products, and rapidly engulf the entire area. An ordinary malfunction turns into a major emergency within seconds. Electrical installations in storage areas must be inspected regularly. Proper automatic fire suppression systems and the correct types of fire extinguishers should be accessible. Incorrect intervention can make a fire worse. Preparation and proper equipment reduce risk.
Security footage from a loading area captured a horrifying workplace accident. A group of workers was unloading massive steel coils from a truck. Everything appeared to be under control as one of the coils had just been lowered safely onto the ground. But suddenly, something went wrong. The transport vehicle beneath the load unexpectedly slipped after losing traction. With its support gone, the multi-ton steel coil began rolling forward under its own momentum, pulling a nearby worker directly into the moving equipment. In a split second, the cold steel slammed violently into his knee with tremendous force. The sound of impact and the shock on the worker's face revealed the severity of the moment. This incident serves as a costly safety lesson. Always secure vehicle wheels and maintain a safe distance when handling heavy materials, because even a brief failure of support equipment can result in permanent injury. Security cameras inside a warehouse captured a disturbing workplace accident caused by carelessness and a serious violation of safety rules. While an automated conveyor system was running continuously, This worker chose not to use the designated walkway. Instead, he suddenly climbed onto the moving conveyor belt in an attempt to shut it off more quickly. But the speed and pulling force of industrial machinery were far more dangerous than he expected. Within seconds, he lost his balance, and his legs were dragged into the gap between the rollers and the drive mechanism. The machine continued operating relentlessly, trapping the worker in extreme pain and helplessness. This incident delivers a harsh safety warning. Industrial conveyor belts are never meant to be used as walkways, and a moment of personal convenience can cost a worker their legs or even their life. Security cameras inside a warehouse captured a horrifying moment, proof that just seconds of negligence can lead to disaster. A worker was operating a forklift through narrow warehouse aisles. But exhausted or lacking full alertness, he suddenly fell asleep while still holding the steering wheel. Completely out of control, the heavy machine continued moving forward under its own momentum and crashed directly into the base of a towering stack of stored goods. The violent impact destroyed the load's balance. Tons of materials came crashing down like an avalanche, burying both the forklift and the driver beneath the collapsing cargo. The thunderous sound echoed throughout the warehouse, a devastating price paid for operating heavy machinery while fatigued. This incident delivers a serious warning. Never underestimate fatigue. Falling asleep while operating heavy equipment can turn a routine. Security cameras captured a horrifying workplace accident caused by overconfidence during a technical operation. Two workers were attempting to separate large glass panels in preparation for the next stage of handling and transport. However, the panels were extremely heavy, and without proper lifting equipment, their balance quickly became unstable. Within seconds, the glass sheets began tipping over one after another like falling dominoes. The worker standing on the right side of the frame had no time to react or step away before a massive panel slammed directly into him. The sound of shattering glass echoed loudly, while razor-sharp fragments scattered across the floor, turning the scene into an extremely dangerous environment. This incident serves as a painful lesson. Heavy and fragile materials should never be handled by manpower alone without proper equipment and protective safety measures. Security cameras inside a manufacturing facility captured a deadly safety mistake in the workplace. In a moment of carelessness while performing routine duties, this worker moved dangerously close to a high-speed rotating shaft that was still in operation. Instead of using proper measuring equipment, he attempted to inspect the machine using his bare hand. In the blink of an eye, the powerful rotational force and friction pulled his arm straight into the drive mechanism. The incident happened so fast that he had no chance to react, as the machine continued spinning without awareness or mercy. The desperate screams and sudden chaos among nearby workers became the heavy price of ignoring safety procedures and protective equipment. This incident delivers a serious warning. Machines have no awareness, and a single moment of distraction can cost a person their life. Security cameras at a construction site captured a terrifying workplace accident that unfolded in just a few seconds. Two workers were carefully securing heavy steel bars, preparing them to be lifted to an elevated position. But as tension was applied, a critical failure occurred. The securing strap suddenly slipped loose because it had not been properly fastened. With nothing holding them in place, the massive steel bars dropped instantly under their own weight, crushing the leg of a nearby worker. The powerful impact sent him to the ground immediately, leaving co-workers frozen in shock. This incident delivers a strong safety warning. Always double-check rigging and securing knots, and never stand too close to heavy loads during lifting operations. Security cameras inside a mechanical workshop captured a horrifying workplace accident that happened in a matter of seconds. A worker was using physical force to steady and reposition a heavy steel plate that had been lifted overhead for turning and relocation. But under excessive tension, the lifting cable suddenly gave way. With its support gone, the massive steel plate dropped instantly under gravity and struck the worker directly on the head. The violent impact knocked him down immediately, leaving nearby co-workers stunned in shock. This incident serves as a powerful safety warning. Always inspect the strength and condition of lifting cables, and never stand beneath the fall path of suspended heavy loads.
Seeing a dump truck tip over while attempting to unload highlights the hidden dangers of certain materials. The incident appears to have been caused by sticky or highly viscous soil that did not slide out of the truck's back. As the bed continued to lift, the weight of the remaining material created an unbalanced and unstable load, causing the truck to overturn.